So the pros to installing steel piers. There's a lot of pros, and that comes with, you go to a house and it's experiencing some real serious settling or some vertical movement, usually shifting downward. We go in underneath the footings and we drive pipe, steel pipe, down to bedrock. Once you hit bedrock, you go underneath the foundation, you put a bracket plate, and we lift the frame of the home and tie it down and backfill it. And what's happened is, you go to a house and they have a front door that can't even open and close, or they have back windows now that aren't opening and closing, interior doors, floors are off or have shifted, sheetrock damage throughout homes. So you come in and you install, we install those piers, and we will essentially give that structure stability, and also we can give it a new memory per se, because of however long the house is shifted or settled. It can take the frame and everything with it. Memory comes into play. So we'll come in, pier the house, and then you wait a month or two and you can come back and start kind of re-squaring doors back up and patching sheetrock cracks. I would say there really aren't any cons to installing piers. The only con I could think is if you got conned on somebody selling you piers when you might not need them. You get to a house, we get to a house, sometimes we get to these projects, and if the customer's unsure, if there's something that we see or another company has seen that we can't quite dissect, we will get a structural engineer involved. Pretty common, we see a lot of engineer reports. So we can get a structural engineer involved, and they can come in and give their full evaluation in a formal notarized letter. They'll recommend either a structural repair, or they'll say the house is structurally sound. And you can get these companies that'll come in and they'll see a little crack and they'll try to sell you piers. When you get a structural engineer involved, they'll come in and say, this is Kansas City, the house is structurally sound. Just essentially getting conned is a con. And our piers are all underground. You never see them, you don't see them. So that's another pro to the piers. Another con could be is if we have to do a big excavation outside of a house. Usually that makes the yard, or it can tend to, you can lose landscaping. If you've landscaped a whole side of a house and a company has to come in and put piers in along that landscaped area, you're going to lose bushes, you're going to lose some mulch, dirt, when we go to backfill it or tamp it in. It sometimes can take a year or 6 months to a year, 2 years for a yard or a house to get back to its original look.